Chelsea end the 2018-19 season with another trophy in their cabinet, but has it been a good season? Watch until the end of this season review to hear all of my thoughts on how Chelsea have done this season. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my video where I'll be giving you my thoughts on how Chelsea have done in the 2018-19 season. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this video is that firstly, I'll be giving you my thoughts on the players, and secondly, I'll be giving you my thoughts on how Maurizio Sarri has done this season. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So starting off with my thoughts on the players and how I think they have done this season, I think that overall it has been a really good season for the players, most players shall I say. I think that some of the players didn't get enough game time for me to actually evaluate their season, but yes, overall I think it's been a really good season for the players. I'm not going to lie to you, I cannot pick out a player of the season because it's been a good season for most of the players, and it's also been very hard because you've got players like N'Golo Kante, Eden Hazard, even Jorginho, Kepa, Cesar Azpilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, Emerson maybe, they've all been at least decent, so it's been hard for me to pick out a player of the season. But yes, I think that we started the season well. We went on that 13-game unbeaten streak, which sadly ended against Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley. You know what, that leads me on to my thoughts of some of the performances. I think that we've had some pretty good performances, we've had some excellent performances as well, but sadly we've also had some shocking performances, which is of course unavoidable because you cannot expect your team to perform at a certain level throughout the entire season. It's just not possible. We are all human, of course. But yes, some of our best performances came against Arsenal, Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur. I would mention Manchester United, but I cannot remember us putting in an exceptional performance against them. But yes, we've had some good performances against some big teams, and yeah, it's just been a really good season. So yeah, at the beginning of the season we did go on that 13-game unbeaten streak, which like I said ended against Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley when we got beaten by 3-1 with Son getting the winner. Towards the middle of the season we did stagnate a little, and that was when we were having problems with our manager and when some players weren't really performing too well. I am going to go in more depth on my thoughts on Maurizio Sarri later on in this video, so stay with me for that. But yes, overall, towards the end of the season we redeemed ourselves, i.e. we made up for how we were in the middle of the season. And in terms of the shocking performances, Manchester City away from home where we got beaten by 6-0 where we didn't show up at all, and Bournemouth away from home where we got beaten by 4-0 when no one expected us to be that terrible. But yeah, those two are the best examples of terrible performances for us this season. But yes, like I said already, it's been a really good season from us, so I think that we can all let it slide because we did win a trophy at the end of the season. Speaking of the Europa League, I think that it was a really good campaign from us. Like I said at the end of my review of the final, I do think that we deserve to win the competition. We went throughout the entire competition without being beaten, although we really should have been because we haven't been. We went through certain games without playing too well in that competition, but who cares? We won the competition, and yes, that's another trophy. So we have to give the players credit where it's due, because without them, we wouldn't have done so. But yes, that's it for my thoughts on how the players have done this season. Let me know what your thoughts on the players are this season are down in the comment section below, and as always, I will do my best to respond. Now for my thoughts on Maurizio Sarri and how I believe he has done this season. I think that overall he has also had a great season. he was the reason why we went on that amazing 12-game unbeaten streak at the start of the season. Yes, earlier on in this video I did say 13-game unbeaten streak, but that was a mistake. I was probably thinking of Antonio Conte's first season. But yes, he was the reason why we went on that 12-game unbeaten streak at the start of the season. And yes, it was a brilliant time. It was a brilliant period during the course of the season, because that was when we all believed that his style of football was going to work in the Premier League or in England, let's say. But yes, things went sour during the middle of the season, and yes, you can argue that he became too stubborn. He was picking players who weren't playing too well, and he wasn't making the correct changes at the time. So at that period, when you look at it like that, or when you look at those two parts of the season in particular, you can argue that it was a bit of a 50-50 season from him. But the reason why I do not want him to go is because it's his first season. He hasn't had a lot of time to implement his style of football. So I think that's the reason why we need to keep him. Yes, there are people out there who believe that he should still be sacked, and I cannot believe that. And yes, there are rumours. There are rumours which are saying that he wants to leave the club, and I don't buy into it, because Maurizio Sarri has just won his first trophy at the club. And I think that he'd probably want to stay for that reason, because of course, who wouldn't want to win more? But maybe you can also argue that he wants to leave on that note. But again, that would be slightly ridiculous. But yes, towards the end of the season, he did redeem himself for the way in which we were playing during the middle of the season, i.e. January, February, and maybe even March, because during that period of the season, we were playing absolutely horrendously. It wasn't pleasant to watch. I'm not even going to give you guys any examples of games in which we weren't playing too well in. In terms of the tactics, some brilliant tactics, but some absolutely horrible tactics. I'm going to give you an example of this. I remember when he brought on Davide Zappacosta for Cesar Azpilicueta in our FA Cup tie against Manchester United, which we of course lost by 2-0. But I'm not going to go into depth on that, because it's in the past now, and he made amends for it. But yes, overall, I think he's been absolutely brilliant in his first season, especially. We finished third in the Premier League. We won the Europa League. We got to the final of the Carabao Cup and only lost to Manchester City on penalties. And for me, that was a brilliant performance from us. And we didn't get too far in the FA Cup, but I'm not going to mention that, because that doesn't really. Our progression in that doesn't really amount to anything in terms of how Maurizio Sarri has done, although we weren't too great in that game. But yes, overall, he met all of his targets, and for that reason, I believe that he has to stay, and that's exactly why I believe that he has had a great season. So that is the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts on Maurizio Sarri are down in the comment section below, and as always, I will do my best to respond. But yes, thank you all for watching. Like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you all very soon for some more videos. Come on, ye Blues, and peace.